guys, welcome back to In Case of Econ Struggles. Welcome to another exporting results struggle. Before we get into making all of these fun summary stats tables and these fun regression tables that we're going to based on that medium guide that I talked about in the last video, just want to make sure I talk about how to set up both our Stata and our LaTeX, primarily Overleaf in these examples, to handle the output and to make sure we're all clear on once we've got that output from our esttab, how we can make sure we get it into that LaTeX document. So that, again, what we're going for is that you can make these tables once with the code. If you update your data set, you can just rerun the code. Your tables will automatically be updated, and so you won't have to worry about the simple mistakes where you forgot to update a table in your PDF document from LaTeX. So I'm just going to put a comment here, but if you haven't, at some point you just need to do ssc install est out. And if you don't have it installed, it's going to go ahead and install that for you to make sure that you're able to run the code that we're running together. Now, when it comes to LaTeX, I'm using Overleaf. I feel like that's pretty common amongst people writing papers. If you're using something like Lix or MyTeX or some other form of text editor that's on your computer, drop a comment below and I will give you some similar instructions on how to set this same thing up for those other softwares, but I'm going to talk about Overleaf because I think it's predominantly used. So a couple extra packages you're going to need this booktabs package. That's because of the way that esttab writes the LaTeX code for you. This import is going to be required if you're using the other LaTeX editor. Again, comment below if you need that option. This pdflscape or lscape is something we're not going to use right away, but as our tables start getting wider and wider, eventually they might not fit on the page in portrait mode. This package is going to allow us to rotate the page so the table can fit in landscape mode and look a lot better. So now that this is all set up, you remember in that previous video we made a very simple regression table. How are we going to get that very simple regression table into this LaTeX, into Overleaf? I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hit upload. I'm going to go from my computer, and then you can see I've got it right here, this esttab. So I'll go ahead and click that, and now it is in my project. And now I can call it with a simple include command. So I'll just come down here, and I'll say include. And I'm just going to say this is going to be esttab.text. So now when I recompile, you will see that what's going to happen is on this second page, we'll have that beautiful table that we saw before. I'm not really going to talk about all the different page formatting yet. We'll talk about that when we really get into these examples. But you can see that what's going to happen is if you have a lot of tables and a lot of regression output, you're going to have a different .tex file for each of those. So we're going to talk about this as we go through, but I highly recommend making sure the naming of those files makes it so that it's really easy for you to tell which file is which table, or which regression, or which summary stat, those types of items, so that when you go to this include command, it's really easy. You know exactly what needs to go there. So hopefully after this video, you're all set up and ready to get into those examples. If you're excited, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time for another case of Econ Struggles.